I laugh about how much I tried to avoid saying this word at the start of the term, but it is corruption. It is corruption. Like there's no other answer for it in my head to go against expert advice, going against a multi-decade plan stretching over multiple governments that we need to put a lid on smoking. To the point where what we were doing was looked at as the right way to do it by a whole bunch of overseas countries. To suddenly just flip that at a time when you have so many in government, like out of all three parts of the government, all three parties in the coalition have ties to the tobacco industry as a whole, and then it just so happens that they're chucking the plan out the window. It's laughable how out in the open this is, and I think that New Zealanders have a complacency that corruption is something that can't happen here, and it is happening. I don't
Yeah,
see another reason, another excuse for what has happened here.
yeah, I think we've learnt from the other big story that's broken in the last couple of days that when there are serious allegations made, it needs to be independently investigated straight away. And there are many organisations that have been calling for an independent inquiry into tobacco industry interference in New Zealand. And so far, those calls have come to nothing. But yeah, we would love to see this out in the open and dealt with.
Yeah.
I mean, another point I'd like to make actually is that the Cancer Society, they've been doing these reports since 2019. And, although New Zealand's been up the top of the rankings, we have always had very weak protections against the tobacco industry. And every report has pretty much the same recommendations. So it's been the Labour Party that ignored those recommendations for the last three reports. This time we've got a different government in. But I think it just goes to show, you mentioned complacency. I think there has been complacency in New Zealand. And now we see what happens when we don't have strong measures against controlling lobbying, where we don't have any, like a lot of countries ban the tobacco industry from making any donations to making political donations. For example, we don't do that. Almost every country has some kind of regulation of lobbying. We've got nothing. We're wide open. So, yeah, there are lots of voices speaking out about this issue, not only in the tobacco area, but in many other fields, that we really need strong measures in place to make sure that our public policy is made for the public and not for corporate interests.